Hello and welcome to HBF Park in Perth. Round 4 of Super Rugby Women's and the Western Force welcome Fijian Drua. A must-win for the Western Force. They are playing for their finals chances. Lose today and no chance of a home semi whatsoever. And for Fijian Drua, they can guarantee themselves a home semi-final with a win here in Perth. It is hot and we are expecting that to drop a little bit, 30 degrees Celsius and a light afternoon breeze. But Sunday afternoon footy, terrific conditions. And alongside me, Kiri Barker and Morgan Tiranui. Kiri, this Fijian Drua side, it's their last match of the regular season and 13 changes to the starting 15.
Yeah, that's right, Will. Head coach Ifiremi Rawanga exercising the depth of his squad. Look out for the defensive prowess of this second row. Maravesi Ofaki Milano alongside Asinate Serevi. As we heard, a new halves pairing, Avivi Senikaruvi in at scrum half alongside Kolora Lamani. She starts at fly half for the first time in a Super Rugby Women's career. And the experience at the back, Luisa Tisolo.
Because of those changes, the bench is pretty strong for this Drua side. It is an experienced front row. They all started last week, and Batila Tuake, who has captained the side many a time. Nkosi is in jersey blank today. It'll be no numbered, that jersey, but was meant to be wearing jersey 23. So when she comes on, the jersey will be without a number. But the Western Force side, they haven't had a great start to the competition, just a draw and a loss from their 2 matches so far. Morgan Tiranui, they have 6 changes to the starting 15, but still class throughout.
And that class never more exemplified by the all-Wallaroo back row, Sarah Naigama and Michaela Leonard there. Tamika Jones been absolutely outstanding and tireless in the back row with Tapsel and Ash Masters. Mailangi, of course, one to watch at hooker there. Yamanaka and Freeman paired at 9 and 10 to steer the ship. Mamade and Smith, the experience in the midfield. Brooklyn Teki Joyce and Adivani Bulecki will be important on the wings with Hume at the back.
Western Force have such a deep squad and a potential debut as well today, though, to add into the mix for Nami Dixon, a Wanneroo Rugby and Rugby WA Pathways product. But Nicole Leddington has provided plenty of steel off the bench as well herself and kicked the game-tying conversion in round 1 against the Brumbies. And that was a big piece of play for the Western Force. But as mentioned, that draw and a loss to start, they come off the bye and played against Penina Pacifica last week, which has been a great initiative. And for Fijian Drua, they come in second place on the ladder. 2 wins and 1 loss from their 3 games so far. They have the bye next week, and a win today can guarantee a home semi-final, which, as we know in Super Rugby Women's competition, a huge benefit for them. Vika Matarungu leads Fijian Drua out onto HBF Park in Perth. 13 changes to the starting 15, and as mentioned, Kolora Lamani starting as fly half today. She's got a huge amount of experience, usually plays in varying positions in scrum half, but a chance to lead them around the park today, Kiri.
Yeah, Lamani, one of the dynamic players of this back line for the Drua. She's started the opening rounds in that 9 jersey, so she knows how to organise. She has the ability to see that vision, see that space. She's good carry meters herself. She'll have the opportunity and 10 just to play a bit more expansive, use her wingers and her centres, who we know are so elusive, so good at finding that try line at any time on the park.
The Western Force come out onto HBF Park, led out by the ever-reliable Truline Pomeray. She is in her 30th Super Rugby Women's Cup today, so congratulations to her on another great occasion. And Morgan in the 10 jersey, Grace Freeman. She's kicked the side around really well, and she'll need to do so again today against a very physical and very spontaneous Fijian Drua side. Field position will be key.
Yes, Will, that's been the benchmark, really, of her involvements with the Force this year. Great kicking game, great choice of kicks, good carrier of the ball as well. So the way she balances her kick, pass and run today will be absolutely crucial. And as always, if the forward pack give us some front foot ball, she can take the line on herself and unleash this impressive Force back line.
Captain.
A referee today, Dan Andrews, and assisted by Dominic Carlson and Peter Van Aswegen. Fijian Drua in the warm afternoon sunshine. Beautiful autumn conditions for Super Rugby Women's. And we are underway. Fijian Drua kick off to the Western Force. The bouncing ball goes past Yamanaka Mio. And instantly the Force kicking out of their own 22. And joining us from the sideline this afternoon, Alicia Lucas. Alicia, what's it like down there?
It is still hot down here, Swaney. And really, really, you know, the wind has picked up a little bit, but it is still really, really hot.
Fijian Drua going through the hands and a nice flat pass. And over the ball, Pia Tapsel, who's come in with Annika Stevens out of the Force lineup. And a knock-on from the Force. Stevens leaves a big hole for this Western Force side. She leads the side in tackles, second most in the entire competition, and turnovers as well. But that versatility you touched on pre-game, Morgan, about the back row of the Western Force, they're going to need to be good over the ball against Fijian Drua.
Big moment early on in this game, scrum time, as we saw the Drua, the best scrum in the competition, 97% win rate. Western Force certainly have a battle on their hands this afternoon in that department.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Steady, hold!
Penalty for the Drua.
Play on.
And they do what they do. They go quickly. Naisewa. Force rushing up. Teki Joyce never shirking the physicality. Drua lining up. A little pass from Faki Molino. One of just two players retaining their spot in the starting 15. Drua going with width now to Solo, making a couple miss. Hands it off for Lamani. The Drua looking for early points. For Kimolino, rolls out of one tackle. Yamanaka
Hold back.
eventually stops her. Sarevi. Nagama stripping it away. Sikameti is hammered and knocked on. So it's getting a little bit scrappy, but the intent is great. And I imagine those initial bits of contact, Alicia, would be ringing around the sideline.
Yeah, the contact's been really, really big thus far. The crowd is still looking decent here, but I've got a little bit of heat stroke off that last one. Sorry, Will, calling you Swaney. That's how hot it is down here on the sideline. I'm losing my marbles. But both sides are up for this, although it's a little bit scrappy. That can just mean that the intensity's there and teams are really after this first 10 minutes of the encounter.
Has indeed been a hot day. Look, I've been called much worse, or there is much worse to be called than Andrew.
Well, mate, you got a full head of hair. I don't know what Alicia's thinking. Yours, thick and it's not going anywhere. Yours.
Crouch!
Yeah, poor from me, team.
Bind! Set!
Brilliant opportunity for the Drua.
Blue,
And now penalty, and they make a mess of the tap.
Blue collapsing.
Works out okay.
Yeah. Number one collapsing.
Sani Karivi, she's lucky there.
Yeah.
Any other day that might have been a knock-on. They're going to go for the scrum. One thing I like about the Drua, they stay true to who they are as a team. A couple minutes in, before 40 metres out, a quick tap and go would seem a bit unorthodox, but that's the way they play. That's what they're so good at. And now look at them 5 metres away from their try line.
To the left. Both of you step left.
Dan Andrews had his eyes elsewhere at the time.
Okay, tied up. Let's go, Blue, in.
Still a great opportunity for Fijian Drua.
Bind! Set! Up.
Strong scrum from the Drua. They're going through the middle of the Force.
Advantage.
Now the advantage comes.
Green.
So Drua through and they're over. Naisewa far too easily crosses, and Fijian Drua on the back of some strong work score the opener.
Well, it's a dream start for the Drua, and it's off the back of a set piece that we have been talking about so much for this team, the scrum. Catalina Naisewa, such a powerful runner. The job was made a lot easier for her with her forward pack. Just staying tight, staying low. Opened up down that left-hand side. There's no stopping her.
I know Isawa does well. It's a mismatch and a half on Yamanaka. The forward pack did their job. Don't just believe Kiribaka with the stats. We've seen already the dominance of that Drua scrum, and with that lethal backline, it's a dangerous combination for the Force already.
For the extra 2, underneath it, but it is good. And Fijian Drua 7 leads the Western Force 0.
We talked about it pre-game. The Drua are going to bring it in the front row, and that they did. The combination of Naisawa, the beneficiary of the front work of her sister, Matawa, in the number 2 in hooker. What a combination having the sisters in that front row pack.
Bright afternoon sunshine beaming down on HBF Park.
Backwards.
Still north of 30 degrees. Near perspiration across that ball as well.
Taken back. Retreat.
You heard the call taken back. So this will come all the way back. And the Western Force with a chance to launch a little bit of ascendancy.
Yeah, miscommunication there, or lack of being able to hear the referee clearly saying that the ball was carried back over the 22. Chisola there's cooked out on the full. Western Force will have an opportunity for some possession early on in this match.
What are our numbers? 5.
A lot of options at line-out time. Michaela Leonard, as good as any in the Force, getting organised quickly. Now the Drua drive them back to the 22. Malangi off Ash Masters' hip. Now breaks. And Bully throws her to the turf. Nagama had a good start in Western Force colours. Tapsel has been a wrecking ball. Drua were waiting for her. Strip that ball out, an error from the Force.
Here Tapsel, center in the second row. She shifted out to 7 and just a loose carry there. Savini, Naomi does well to get in and underneath. Western Force, it'll be a tough half for them. We talked about the conditions, not only the heat they have to battle with, they have glaring sunlight that they will face for 40 minutes. The kicks high up, so they're going to be a little bit more difficult.
Saw that in the men's game, the Western Force against the Drua. And even now, just before it goes below the grandstand, it'll be even worse. Right in the eye line of any kicks that come through into backfield, and just a little bit of concern here, possibly finger and hand there.
Not too pleasant for Alana Sikametti, does it? The error coming from Pia Tapsel. She relishes the contact, as we saw. Just trying to take it on a little bit too much. As we touched on pre-game too. Trelane Pomeray, 30th Super Rugby Women's cap in the history of Super Rugby Women's. She has played in every single Western Force game except for one. An absolute servant and a true trailblazer she has been to this Force side.
She certainly is. She's seen it all with this side, the good and the bad. She'll certainly want to come away with a win this afternoon as they eye off another opportunity for a finals berth. Alana Sikametti still receiving attention to that finger. Young front rower. Standout year last year to a call up to the Wallaroos. Time at the Brumbies, part of the Queensland Reds wider training squad as well. She's found ascendancy and a good home at the Western Force.
You're both to the left. Let's go.
A little freshen up after the opening 7 minutes for the forward packs.
Time on.
Time back on.
Crouch!
Vivi Senakarivi
Bye!
to feed the scrum for the Drua.
Set! Steady! Up! Up!
It's a good hit in the Force, a little bit of a shove.
Take it out.
Drua was shifting to the left and now come to this right side. We had a room, and Cherie Hume It was a tough bounce, rolled up her foot and then knocked on, so the Drua with another scrum.
Scrum.
It's the Drua with all the control at the moment. It's an awkward kick along the ground.
30 seconds.
Great option.
Inside
Just
PJ.
bobbles.
Inside 50. Let's go,
Hard
girls.
way for
Much
Cherie
better,
Hume
much
to
better,
collect
much
it.
better, okay?
Well, that tells the tale, doesn't it? 4 errors in the first 8 minutes. At the moment, the Drua, they look good because they're doing the basics well.
You keep pushing straight,
Competent
you
at
keep
set
pushing
piece, efficient
Let's go,
defence,
30
good,
seconds.
simple carrying when given the chance. The Force need to do the same and quickly.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Steady!
Great shot of that Fijian
Okay,
Drua
get it
scrum
out,
dominance. And they keep going through the middle of the fourth pack and win another penalty at scrum
Back
time.
again.
And there's a bit of chip starting to build from the Force
Standing up.
forwards.
Blue standing
Very
up.
early on, and the Drua are undoubtedly winning this scrum battle. Essentially just marching their way down the field. Frustration there bubbling over. Tamika Jones.
Blue, step across. Let's go, girls. What have you got? What numbers? 5, 6, 6.
Off for Kimolino. Couldn't get in front of Leonard, and Leonard wins it back. Yamanaka Mio.
No,
A bit of a
play on.
hospital wall for Teki Joyce.
Yeah, taken back. Taken back. Oh, no, inside, sorry. There's a ruck there.
Western Force
Yeah, no,
able to
there's a
clear
ruck there.
on the full. The call was adjusted, and it'll be a Drua line out back in the shade.
It's still not a bad option for the Drua. They lost their line out.
Girls, you need to set
Found
clear
themselves
numbers.
relatively
okay?
in the same patch of the park to have another go.
It's overthrown, and Yamanaka Mio chasing it. Tapsel. Need a couple to take her down. Nasewa was through. Didn't pick it up cleanly. Freeman just thumps it deep. To Solo.
Inside 50.
A bit of return
retreat.
serve, just dinks it up. A bit too much on it for the chasers. Hume. Puts it away. Here's Adivani Balecki. Fijian 7-star. In her debut season with the Western Force. Malungi up to halfway. Good clean out support from Nagama. So the Force, a tiny bit of continuity, but the pressure's coming. Tapsel, an important step. Teki Joyce with pace, with strength as well. Great agility, Brooklyn Teki Joyce.
I've got that knocked on by Blue. No,
Play on. The call from the assistant referee, so the Force able to continue. A little bit stagnant now.
Move.
Chance to get organised. Yamanaka. Omare. Masters. There go Adivani Balecki. Fell behind, so Cherie Hume mopping up for the Force. They're at the
Advantage.
22. An advantage for the player not rolling.
Number 2 not rolling.
The most cohesive
Number 2,
string of phases
roll
that we've
away.
seen from the Western Force. They've been lucky a few times.
Keep watching for you though. Number 2
These
roll
last
away.
few minutes, just a 50-50 with the offloads. They've done well with the scramble.
We'll go to the line.
Tapsel under pressure. Just see here, Brooklyn Teki Joyce. The time she was able to get that offload away, she had about 3 defenders on her.
Okay. Let's go, Blue. Come in.
Great kicks from the Force. Loretta Malungi might need a little bit more
The line's the
attention.
centre, guys.
She's due
Step
to
off
throw
the
this
line.
ball. But the fatigue will be there for both sides.
Let's go,
Drua
Blue.
have
Start coming
dominated
in,
early.
please.
The
Start coming
Force
in.
need to take
yeah, start
advantage of
coming in.
every opportunity they can get.
Loretta Mailangi doesn't look to be in a good way. She's hobbling.
Yeah, bring some. Yeah,
The
bring
medic
straight on. Yeah,
potentially heading over to the sideline. Disappointing. That's her afternoon done.
Sorry. Yeah, time's off for the injury though, but yes.
See there, head above Malcolm
Okay,
Heke.
Blue,
She's
start coming
running
in,
onto
please.
the field
Players
for the
on.
substitution. It's a disappointing end for Mailangi. Such a strong runner.
What numbers?
Changed
What numbers?
to starting hooker off the back of some really strong performances.
Let's go, Blue. Blue, start coming in.
It is disappointing for Mailangi,
Time
isn't
on.
it? But the force with above Malcolm Heke coming on. It's a great throw.
Access is
Leonard wins it down in the force, making good meters. They're keen to strike back. They are
Backwards.
over the line. They drop
Backwards,
the
leave it.
pill.
No.
Backwards
On
the
the
call.
line, on the
They
line.
are still
Hands
alive. Jones waved off at Nagama on her own. Support there now. Nagama scores. The force hit back.
We thought for any money that that was going to be Ash Masters with the try to her name. Fortunately, it's gone back just far enough for Nagama to collect and have one more go in the lead-up. It was a beautiful constructed line out to Leonard. Textbook almost in Mall 101, and you just see here Masters goes to place it down, and looks like a little hand from the Drua has assisted with the ball coming out. Nagama gets nice and low. She's able to recoup and get the 5 points.
Oh, they've shown their quality in the last few minutes, the Western Force, on multi-phase attack, and they're on set-piece maul attack. Referee Dan Andrews in a very good position to adjudicate that knockback, and then Nagama, understanding how important it is to be the lowest, be the quickest, gets the job done.
Freeman to level it up, keeps it low, and it's true, 7 points apiece.
Freeman has kept her kicking 6 from 6 thus far this season. A really tight try from Nagama, but it was the lead-up work from the Western Force. They finally started going at the Drua. They're spaced out on the edges, but if they're not holding the Drua defence, they're just going to be able to shift and drift across. So the Force really need to keep going at those edges and hold those defenders up.
Deep kick.
Inside. Retreat
Calmly
16,
fielded
no
by the
backwards.
force, and
16.
a good clearing
16.
kick in return takes us up towards halfway. You drew a
Yes.
line out throw, the other side of halfway in fact. Just kept on marching. Well done Cecilia Smith, who
Set clear numbers.
has had a
PG,
good start
guys,
to her
set clear
career
numbers, okay?
in Western Force Blue as
Around
well,
numbers.
after
4.
a great career with the Queensland Reds.
Interesting tactic for the Drua, kicking deep left of the kickoff in this summer. You would have thought for anything they would have gone deep right.
That ball not straight but uncontested by the force, so
Must release. Player on the ground.
play on. Penalty for the force, just shy of 15 minutes played.
This is where the Drua starts to unravel slightly. Most penalised team in the competition. The discipline can certainly hinder their momentum as it is doing right now.
Can you please
Lovely
set your
kick
numbers more clearly?
for touch. Western Force find themselves with very, very good
Get your
attacking
timing right, guys. Get
opportunities.
your timing right.
Another change in the front row for the Western Force. Takagi Megumi is on.
Back 10.
Force bring that down well.
Good.
Another Sikameti player who's
Going
made
sideways,
way for
okay.
Takagi. Force driving through. Now Nagama gets it from Malcolm
Okay, that's one
Heke.
going sideways. She's okay. Yes.
Good organisation from the Force, and now it goes a little bit awry. Masters breaks away. 6 Fijian Drua jerseys descend on her.
Back.
Yamanaka, Freeman, Tapsel, just straightening and driving those legs. Queuing up in the middle for the Force, Jones. Strong run to Mika Jones! Brilliant from the young star, and the Western Force take the lead.
Look to the back rower, Tamika Jones, who has elevated her side with another 5 points. The Western Force certainly making up for the slow start. Back-to-back tries in quick succession.
She brought a brutal edge to the game so far, and everything we've seen, and never more evident than there. Just through the middle, wanted it more, refused to be tackled, kept legs going through contact, and then excellent in getting the ball down too.
Freeman has been great from the tee, and that continues. The Western Force 2 tries in a hurry, lead 14-7.
The Western Force have really swung the momentum around, and it's all come off the back of the errors that the Fijian Drua line out. The more that the Western Force can force them to kick into touch, you can see the likes of Jones be able to be the beneficiary of that hard defence that's really rushing the Fijian Drua kicks, and they're contesting well at line out and getting turnover ball.
A lot of people in Australian rugby be thrilled with how Tamika Jones is going about her 2025 campaign. Still yet to be capped at Wallaroos level, but has been around the squad for a number of years now. Still so young, 21 years of age. Another homegrown WA rugby product doing good things.
Retreat
Freeman.
in front. Okay, good.
Decent purchase on the kick. Numbers back for the Drua. Now, a little bit of broken field play.
Inside 50.
Interesting kick. Trey Hume fairly well held. There's Jones again. Great awareness of where that sideline is.
Play on, play on.
Manaka saves it for the Force. Masters hands it off to Kagi.
Blue, you've got a scrum advantage.
Taki Joyce, in fact.
Okay, advantage
There you go,
over.
Walker. The Force, they've got an overlap. Hume and Adivani Balecki. Good strong tackle
Okay, move.
from Hauni Moala. Nagama has been
No
lively.
falling. Let go, let go.
The Force at halfway, consolidating.
Taken back.
Manaka's been good. Freeman also just turning Fiji around. All the way back, Novosa.
Keep moving back.
Let's just kick, bounces around halfway.
Inside.
Hume. This Teki Joyce tries to go the direct route. She's met well.
No.
Nove was happy to absorb. Late pass from Malcolm Hecky. Was happy to try and hold it. She got smacked by Matarungu and still down. Cecilia Smith. Ivani Balecki making a couple miss again.
Back
The
to
pace is high.
hold.
Malcolm Hecker still down. Just checking her ribs after that big Matarungu tackle.
No, you're moving
Yamanaka
it.
playing for the penalty. Now they've got to stop because of Malcolm
Time
Hecky.
off. Injured player.
It's not good for the Western Force. 20 minutes in, and it's the second reserve hooker who is now down. Just looks to have copped a pretty decent shot from Naisewa.
Good shot. Good shot. I tell you what, there's opportunity out wide for the Force in the far 15s. If Ash Masters can just work a bit harder to get back in position. And Alicia Lucas, you would have seen that hit. You went far away down there.
That was absolutely brutal, Morgs. Oh, Matarangu left nothing to the imagination with that hit on Malcolm Hecky, and she seems to be up and doing all right, but the bench and the crowd cringed at that one. It was massive.
She got her ribs broken. Getting a head bandage.
I don't think anyone can forget head above. Malcolm Hecky was the player who had quite a bad head knock and had a huge Easter egg on her forehead. So it's obviously still causing her a bit of trouble. Looks like they've just put some padding.
As astutely pointed out, it's like I've got a sore right hand. Well, here, let me squeeze the left one. Now it's the left one. You've forgotten about the right one now, haven't you? But yeah, they've got some personnel considerations, the Western Force, in that front row.
Okay.
And some advice about the challenge ahead of them from this ever-dominant Fijian scrum. Lost just one scrum coming into today. The best lineouts in the competition as well. And we know, especially on the back of their performance against the Brumbies last weekend, how they will push until the final siren. Mbuli scored after full time last week in Fiji to get them that much-needed win.
Set, steady.
Oh, the Drua. They were driving. Legally so. The Western Force can pick themselves up.
Driving up.
Yeah, the Western
not
Force
pushing
will come
straight.
away with the penalty. Quite lucky to do so.
Driving
the Drua.
up.
Take another look here. Just unfortunately, instead of going through, going up.
They got away with one there, the Force. Technically correct from referee Dan Andrews, but the Force don't have a scrum and the Drua don't have a line out at the moment.
Another great kick for the Force, puts them 5 away.
On that side.
And after that early try, through Carolina Naisewa, the Force have controlled things pretty well.
Clear numbers, Blue. What do we got?
Field positions
5.
in their favour.
5. 5.
They need to keep
Make sure you
taking
stay on the
advantage of all of these opportunities deep in Drua territory. To the back they go. Michaela Leonard
Good
again.
access.
And again the maul. Masters wheeling around. They reset the Western Force. Drua. Eyes darting, looking for the ball. Yamanaka frees it out. Tapsel taking on a few. Tapsel taking on half the team. And Tapsel driving over the top.
Incredible run from Pia Tapsel. The Western Force positioning her exactly where they want her. One off from the 9 to do exactly what she just did. The maul, they're well constructed. It's defensively sound from the Drua. Wasn't going anywhere. We just see here, Yamanaka finally digs in for that one. Finds Tapsel. As he mentioned, Will, half the team on her. She still manages to find the touchline.
Oh, she had some work to do. Look at this. Here it is. Look at that. 4 of them, 5 of them. They just can't stop her. And the Force have had 5 rucks in the Drua 22 and scored 3 tries.
Right behind Grace Freeman. Light breeze around HBF Park, but a woman at the peak of her powers adds the extras very calmly, and the Western Force, a dominant 15 minutes, they lead 21-7.
Morgs, you absolutely nailed it there with that stat. The amount of time that they've played down there in their own half and been able to capitalise off it. Tapsel, the experienced Blackfern capped player, she showed what you needed to against a Fijian side. Be physical, be up front and take it to them, and she's done just that and reaped the rewards of it.
Okay, let's go, please.
The definition of someone who just loves contact. Here, Tapsel. Masters. Enjoying her time in the West. A little bit of Australian rules flight. Freeman finding turf. Drua. The kicking's left a little bit to be desired in open play. Teki Joyce,
Hands out!
ragdoll
Hands out!
to the turf. Great pass for Takagi, who absorbs Nambuli's hit. Nagama. Ah, they were on the opposite page. Braxton Walker and Sarah Nagama. Be another Drua scrum.
It was the handling error from Walker, but in the lead-up,
Yeah, I'll come around
Western
now.
Force just
Happy with yourself on
maintaining
that side now.
control.
Okay. Make sure you keep the height up, keep pushing straight.
Built
Okay.
a decent lead.
Remember in the pre-match, stay down.
Waned
stay push
off.
Straight. Here's Emma.
Opening minutes from the Drua attack, and they can keep this up. They'll certainly look the goods going into half-time. It's the most points the Western Force have ever scored against the Drua
Crouch!
in an opening half.
Fine!
Both sides have been given plenty
Stand
of
up.
warnings about height.
No clear space there, okay? We need clear space before set, okay? Here's our mark. Keep that shoulder out, okay?
Bring your shoulder up.
Okay, clear space, push straight.
Deep breaths, still warm, hovering around 30 degrees.
Crouch!
A relieving breeze is starting to pick up.
Bind! Set!
Drua going to work at scrum time.
Use it.
Ball's there. Now they play, wheeling around. Strong run. Narvosa. Narvosa. Offload away for Lamani. Senekarivi. Nahumu.
No.
So 5 away. Matarungu. Breaking that first tackle, almost keen to reach out. Drua, they're over. Have they got it down? The force tried to stop them. Grace Freeman couldn't do enough, and a much-needed score, courtesy of Carolina Naisebo, who's got a double.
Well, this is why the Drua are so dangerous. You give them an inch and they will take an absolute mile. It was the line break from Nervosa that got things underway. She was collected just by Bilecki on the chase, but Drua in the scramble, in the offloads, so strong. Naisewa gets a double.
Yeah, they had more urgency when they got into the 22. Western Force had 77% possession and territory in the first half, and just took one block of possession for the Drua to strike back and get right back into this game.
Solo doesn't miss many. Again, gets right underneath it. And the accuracy is good. The kickers have been great. It is 21-14.
That is exactly what Fiji can do to you when they get down into their own half. It was the first opportunity we got to really see Lamani open up at 10. She really isolated her opposite number in Freeman, and she was able to release Nervosa, and it was beautiful attacking rugby to watch. Freeman
all the way back into Drua's 22. Nervosa starved of the ball. Making the most of things in the past couple of minutes. One try the difference, converted of course. Drua, a little bit of room to work. Tolve. Jones was over that, well worked out.
Sorry, say that
Good
again.
hands off Kimolino. Strong second tackle from Trillian Pomare. And to Solo, great dummy. Jones, a good tackle.
leave now.
Yamanaka throwing herself at the ruck. For Kimolino again, strong work. Leonard,
Okay, tackle.
great strength from her. Snikarivi just flicks it out the back to Solo. Prefers the open side, and understandably so. Matarungu bumps off Nagama. Oh, just flying around from the Drua. Oni Moala almost lost her footing and lost the ball as well.
Knock on.
The force, when Fiji start throwing it around, they're on roller skates, aren't they?
Knock
One
on green.
offload too many from the Drua. Just needed to play with a
Okay,
bit
let's
more
start moving
patience.
up.
They were doing well down this right-hand side, alternating in that 15-metre channel, just trying to pull the Western Force defenders before spreading fast down the left-hand side to free up any available space. Fortunately, drop ball halting their momentum.
This will be interesting. Herabab Malcolm Hecking, not in a good way. You can see Dylan Parsons with some advice for the bench. We're not sure on Lorena Mailangi's status, whether the ankle's been taped and she's good to go, but given Fiji and Drua's scrum dominance, this could be an interesting turn.
Interesting to see what they do, Morgs. They do have a reserve hooker that goes out. I know they do have a hooker on there who is capped as a Wallaroo hooker in their back row, Ashley Masters. potentially feel that boy.
Water off now, please. Let's go.
Well, she may have to, because if Mailangi was a injury replacement and not a tactical replacement, she cannot come back onto the field.
Okay, let's go, Blue.
Yeah, I've just checked for you, Will, and Mailangi's sitting there with ice on her ankle with it resting up on a chair with no boot on, so she doesn't look like she can return to the field at all. So Herabab Malcolm Hecky's just going to have to stick it out.
Well, that's she doing.
Crouch!
Takes her spot in the middle of that front row. Thank you to Alicia Lucas for that.
Set! Hold!
Those front rows locking in. Yamanaka going digging. Freeman again. Great vision with the kick. Tough bounce for Tassolo.
Keep moving back. Keep moving back.
Almost getting hands to that one. A kind bounce for Freeman.
That's inside 50.
Just checks her kick. And she's overcooked it.
Yeah.
Out on the full. And that'll come back for a Drua line-out in line with where that was kicked from.
She puts her hand up in apology, but there must have just been inches in that. Like it may have been just on the line. Freeman, she certainly is sharp off the boot.
Not straight. Not straight. Yep. Make sure you let it go. Yep.
Force through the hands. Pomeray, great vision. Trillian Pomeray still weaving. Lovely little offload for Ash Masters. Jones, big contact again from the young star. Yamanaka.
Great advantage.
Sending it around, the force with an advantage, so Smith kicks and just puts it in the realm of Adivani Bilecki.
That here. Number 13 offside.
Smith, she heard the advantage call from the ref. She thought he'd try her hand
Number
and just
13,
putting it
offside.
just a chip seat. Right at Mailangi there, the ice pack on her ankle. Certainly won't be returning this
Can we get early
afternoon.
numbers here, please?
Trillian Pomade.
Yep.
Lovely off the left foot, straight down the middle. Forward pack for the Western Force, who are just doing a lot of damage right now on these support lines.
Kicking from Grace Freeman to touch, as well as in general play, has been as good as you'll see. Giving the force every opportunity to
Clear
score
access,
points.
drive through. 5. Drop.
Harabab. Goes
Wait.
to the back. Leonard rising high. Masters and Malcolm Heckett getting involved. Well defended, Drua. A Tapsel. Again, the leg drive. She stands tall. Tapsel wrestles to ground. Nagama's skip.
Okay.
Late contact was okay. The force. Adivani Bilecki. Too much room to work with, and the force. Another try.
Well, it was almost a replica of their previous try. Just one more addition to the right-hand side to it. Exactly what they would have worked on at training. A maul down and low, driving through. One off to Pia Tapsel. Collects as many defenders as she possibly can. Just the overlap, the space out wide for Adivani Bilecki. Still had plenty of work to do with the athleticism of the player.
I've loved the work of Yamanaka at 9 for the Force in the first half, and never more evident than that sequence that led to the try. Good decision-making of where to find runners, and excellent service where needed. Popped a late, nice little hit on the way for her troubles, but great influence on that try.
Freeman, good distance. It was away to the near side. So the first miss from the tee from either side. Toughest opportunity, but the Force say 26-14.
You talk about influence, Morgs, and no one's having an even bigger influence than Freeman with her boot. Spreading the ball out wide to Bilecki, who would have loved to have scored against her home side in Fiji. But the ascendancy of the Force has come off the back of the last 4 penalties against the Drua, and they've been able to capitalise penalty into try, and all of that's come with the territory that Grace Freeman has given them off her foot.
Ivani Maleki recruited
Inside. Keep moving
to the
back.
Fiji 7 side, straight out of high school. Represented Fiji 7
Backwards.
side at the Paris
Backwards off white, play
2024
on.
Olympic Games. And 2 tries so far this season for the Western Force. Pomare. To work with. Look at the pace of Adivani Baleki. Tasolo's in trouble. Baleki overruns it. Pomare does not. The Western Force are dominating the Drua.
The Western Force have certainly found their groove. It's tries galore in this opening half. Pomare, the skipper, the leader. Ivani Baleki, like a track star out there. Just the stride on her. She's going so fast she actually overran it. But it was Pomare off the back of her lovely weighted kick. The bounce was impeccable. Was able to pick it up. Free run for the try line.
I love the kick and chase. I put the head down and chase, even if you're not in the front line, and then staying in the fight is the reward to finish it off.
Plenty for Dylan Parsons to smile about.
10 seconds.
And in Super Rugby Women's cap number 30, Elaine Pomare gives the Force a very healthy lead. That Grace Freeman looks to add to, and she's back on song. The Western Force 33 lead the Drua 14.
Fantastic strike from Freeman, taking the ball so far back to get her conversion, but she's absolutely nailed it. And the Western Force are really exploiting how tight the Fijian Drua are playing on their edges. They're seeing that they're spaced down those 15-metre channels, and they're really just attacking it. A little change-up in tactic there with the kick through from Pomare. But it's really, really exciting to see that the Force are exploiting the opportunities that are available for them.
Tries galore from the Force, and a lovely piece of bodywork from Takagi Megumi. Just thought,
Wait.
give the shoulder the work, leave the hands down, and parried it along.
Take it back. Retreat, Blue.
Freeman.
Move back. Okay.
Tough kick to deal with. Goes over the head of Senekarivi. Romani. Skipping and stepping. Michaela Leonard with a strong tackle. Senekarivi. Matarungu. Good contact from the Force. Jones. Geez, this Western Force side have really come to match up with the physicality. Yamanaka, lively again. Smith. Again, strong in what is heavy contact. That was Railumu with the tackle. Malcolm Heckett shielding her eyes and then just trucking the ball up. Freeman and Masters. Tapsel. No surprises. She's happy to take on a couple of defenders. Freeman. Pomare, another good kick for Adivani Baleki. So quick off the mark. They are causing plenty of problems over on that far side.
The Western Force, they've found what's working for them and they're sticking to it. Inside their 22, they're kicking deep into Drua territory, applying that pressure and then getting to work. Their forwards have been direct and strong, getting over that advantage line each and every time. Their backs exercising their space, just probing on their kicks. The Western Force side that is looking very, very good.
Okay. Water off now, please. Water off.
It's a lesson in efficiency, isn't it? 6 entries into opposition 22 for 5 tries. And a little bit of defensive efficiency. Drua do look dangerous anytime they get into the Force 22.
Okay. Time on.
With significant improvement.
Drua hard up against their own line. Tove, a rushed and somewhat erratic kick. Picked up by Yamanaka at the 22.
Wait.
Smith. Becky Joyce. Tipped over, and that'll be a penalty for the Western Force for a dangerous lift.
Time off, guys. Back you go, please. You go back, please. Back. Not now. I'll talk after.
Referee's having a conference.
Okay, so I've got number 13 White with the lifting tackle. It's gone past the horizontal. They've landed on their shoulder. So I'm at yellow card.
Yeah, I agree.
To add to that?
No,
okay,
I agree.
Cool. Captain number 13, please. Number 13. Captain. Captain, number 13. Okay, it's a lifting tackle. It's gone past horizontal. They've landed on their shoulder. Okay, it's a yellow card.
Vitalina Nakora will spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. And for Fijian Drua, that is a real shame. She's one of their chief impact players.
Okay, time on.
Yeah, it certainly is. If the Drua were doing it tough, they're about to do it even tougher for the next 10 minutes. That Vitalina Nakora.
I've been super impressed with referee Jen Andrews too, a young ref through the Sydney refereeing systems. First Super Rugby Women's game in the middle. Very succinct and clear. They got that exactly right with no TMO in Super Rugby Women's pool games.
Leonard. They haven't been missing from there. Getting it wrong.
Penalty. Lift or obstruction. No access to the jumper. No clear access. Obstruction.
So you'll see the lifter slide in front of Michaela Leonard on catch here.
Lift or obstruction.
I'd like to see more referees pick this up in all competitions, truthfully.
Yeah, that's right, Morgs. One of the intricacies of the maul. The jumper with the ball. Let's be the first place player to initiate the maul.
Yeah, that's the centre, so you're there. Okay.
Well, in the shadows of half-time and a player down, the Drua would desperately love points. Nice say, we're winding up.
Let go now, let go!
Refusing to shirk. Jones.
No clear release.
It's Teki Joyce, in fact, and Drua playing with a little bit of urgency late. Nambuli. Drua.
Hands off! Hands off! Good.
Into forced territory. Go again, Nambuli. Keeps it herself. Kimalino was there.
No, leave 9. Good.
Matarunga. Valuable meters. Mamani and Ralalumu.
Back.
Continuity starting to build. Off of Kimalino. Just throws it back.
Play on.
No one was there. Here, Tapsell with a smile on her face.
Back. Use it!
Western Force with a healthy advantage. Kick into the stands, and Western Force at half-time, 33. Lead Fijian Drua 14. A terrific first 40 minutes for the home side.
It certainly has been. The Western Force are humming on all accounts, attack and defence, sticking to what is working for them. Direct running, creating space, kick meters, set piece. That line-out time has been exceptional. What an opening half.
Let's head to Alicia, who has Michaela Leonard.
We're return of the Mac. How good is it to be back out there, Michaela?
Yeah, it's incredible to be back. I think playing at home is always the best. We always got to have a good fan here at HBF Park, so it's incredible to be back and a nice start to the game.
A real dominant first half display, really tight in around the forwards. What's the key to making sure the Drua don't come back in this second half?
Yeah, I think key is just shoring up our defence. We know that we need to get 2 in those tackles. They like to offload, they like to keep the ball alive. So making sure that our first chop is dominant and effective, getting that second person in to wrap up the ball. goal.
Awesome, Matt. Good luck for the second one. Go well.
Any chance of a home semi round 5 next week, and Fijian Drua with the bye, so they are looking to guarantee themselves a home semi-final, and they can do that with a win today, but they've got work to do. Drua, we know that they will play and play and play until that final whistle, just like they did against the Brumbies last week.
Yeah, they certainly will. Nothing guaranteed for the second half for the Western Force. As we know, the Drua come alive in the last quarter of their games. It's where they score the multitude of their points. It's the Western Force. They will need to be clinical in this second half if they want to come away.
Anna Korovata is on for Fijian Drua in jersey 17. Keep an eye across a few of the other changes as they come through. Nade Serevi.
Backwards.
Through the hands, Lamani and Ralumu. Leonard busy with the counter ruck, but immovable. The Fijian breakdown.
Move 3. Good. Good effort.
Force. Line is good. Initial contact. Unable to move Fiji again. Nade Serevi and Naui Moala.
Play on, knock on. Knock on advantage.
Knock on advantage, the call. Romani, couple of metres. The Force well set over that
Still
ball.
there, coming back for the knock on.
Still under advantage. It'll be a draw scrum.
It'll be interesting to see what head coach of the Drua, Remy Farawanga, does in the second half. As we saw in round 2 against the Queensland Reds, it was actually the reserves for the Drua who came on, made a huge impact, got them back into that game in the last 10 minutes. Farawanga rang in the changes for the following week, 12 changes that week. Then again, it was the impact from the bench that came on and made the difference. So could we see the same again this afternoon?
Legend of Fijian rugby, Farawanga. And
Fine.
leading this much-loved Fijian women's side. Still with 5.5 minutes remaining on the yellow card to Kore. Seneca Reevy. Now Lamani. Looping ball for Tove. Tucks it under the arm and tries to take Teki Joyce on, and under impact spills the pill.
Knock on.
Conditions have improved as far as the heat goes, but Alicia Lucas, what's it like down there at sideline level? Still fairly warm, we imagine.
It is still got a little bit of sting in the heat, Will, but there's been a nice breeze coming across, as Tim Horan likes to say, from the Fremantle Dockers coming through. The wind is just picked up a little bit, which has kind of eased the heat of conditions, but it's still toasty as the lights have started to turn on here as well.
Ever reliable, those house calls.
Number 9.
Doctor in the evening.
And number 4.
Another change. Alfredo Fisher coming on. Leads the team for lineouts 1, and Kimmelino.
But you need to stay square as well. Okay.
Weapon defensively, makes some fresh legs out into the middle.
Crouch. Fine. Standing up. Standing up.
A reprieve there from the Drua. Force. Short-arm penalty for standing up.
Can't take a scrum for free kick. Tap or kick. Tap or kick. Let's go. Standing up.
Understandably, the Drua in no real hurry. Now a player down still. Matarunga winding up. Strong again, Takagi in defence for the Force. Karavata. And Nasewa pinches a couple of metres. Marawa and Dauni Moala. Masters tried to get hands to it. Ralumu did well. Here they go. Ralumu. The sisters both involved. To solo. vicious clean out. Marawa. They're 5 away, the Drua.
Hold blue.
A player down. Points here would be a big sign of intent.
Move.
Karavata, Masters has her hands on the ball.
Not rolling.
But the penalty against Michaela Leonard.
Roll away. Captain.
Significant turn of pace from the Drua.
Number 5,
Usually
roll
one
away.
to play fast, up tempo, take the quick tap.
Scrum dominance, and they take the tap
move,
true to
blue,
style.
hands
Again, the Western Force in a difficult
No, not
position, but
out.
the ball is there. They got Matarungu, big contact. Nagama low, Masters high.
Use it.
Strong body positioning from the Drua. Plenty of numbers, staying narrow.
Step back, 7.
Koravata
Leave it.
has
Use.
Matarungu on her hip. Hands it off. Nate Serevi stood up well.
Shorts. Move blue. Yes, good efforts. Good efforts.
Matarungu.
Short, play it.
Again, the Force
On the line,
able to
blue,
plug the
on
gaps.
line. Use it. Count is good.
Through the middle, Western Force go. Quick hands, the Drua. Running out of room, Lamani.
No, leave now. Off the ball.
New gaps starting to appear, the Western Force
Use it.
trying to get organised.
3,
And the
2,
Drua
1.
allowing them time to do so.
Short.
Matarungu is
Short.
short.
Play on the line.
The Drua hammering away again.
No.
They think they've got it. Dan Andrews says no.
Hold up. No. Hold up. Goal line, drop out.
Well, the Western Force have held off an onslaught of attack from the Drua. Times a bit of confusion amongst the Drua. Who was going to take it, what they were going to do. And the Force have done very well to hold off the onslaught.
Sorry. Try again, sorry.
A minute to go
Okay, yeah.
till the Drua are back to full strength, and the Western Force taking a moment. A few big drinks of water.
Yep.
Freeman having the ankle taped.
That ankle taping comes at an opportune time for the Force just to regroup. They toughed it out on their own line. I'd be surprised if that try was actually scored. But no real recourse to go and
water
check
off,
it.
Please. Water off. Okay, thank you.
Back to full strength. Fiji and Drua go. Changes for the Force as well. Next weekend, the final round of Super Rugby Women's, and the Western Force head to Ballymore. Sunday afternoon footy again. Kiri, that could be an absolutely crucial one for both sides and their finals chances.
Come on.
Navosa. Serevi. Unimuala. Marawa combining.
Advantage offside. Okay, thank you.
Drua
Number
through
8,
the middle.
Number 12 offside.
Under advantage.
9, you've got advantage. New advantage.
Again, just picking and going
16
through the middle.
offside.
Testing the Western Forces defence, and they are picking up some fairly
Still
good
playing
metres.
advantage.
Oh, Nasewa already scored both of Drua's tries.
Stay there. Stay there. Okay, use it.
Ball's there. Koravata is over
On the line. Try.
by weight of presence. Fijiana Drua, the first try of the second half.
Well, the Drua needed to be the first to score in this second half. They wanted to keep their hopes alive of coming away with the win, and they have done so through their front row. Just the forwards getting to work. Just a grind to the pick and goes. And they have done enough. Ani Semesi Koravata earns 5 for this afternoon.
Well, it had to come, didn't it? Weight of possession and territory finally in the Drua's favour at the beginning of this second half. The message at halftime had to have been must score Force first, must get into the Force as quick as we can. They've certainly done that.
10 seconds.
The solo. Trademark chip. And this one is away, so it remains 19-33.
Cannot underestimate how critical it was for the Drua to be able to hold out the Western Force with that yellow card and that woman in the bin. Being able to keep them to no scoreline then is a huge confidence builder. And then on top of that, scoring first in the second half. I think we'll see a ring of changes that have just come through for the Drua, and that momentum will start to build for them, and the Force now is their challenge to how they're going to hold it off.
Asewa. Again, it takes two to stop the Drua. The Force in tandem doing it well. Rabanakadavu with a carry. The solo, slow to get out to the wing. Brooklyn Techie Joyce hanging on.
Make it back, Blue.
And the Western Force, a penalty.
Yeah. Holding on and extra roll. Extra roll by 2 and then holding on.
Ash Masters
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
doing very
Holding
well
on,
over the ball
extra roll.
here. Maintaining a strong position. Western Force with their first real
good.
opportunity in
Nice
this
pullback as
second
well,
half. Deep into Drua territory.
Numbers, guys. 5. 5.
As we saw in the first half, it was the Drua who got off to a big start. Western Force
Let's go. In.
on their way back in and maintain control for the remainder.
No contest.
Manaka. Continuing to serve this Force side. We might have to stop here to solo laying prone. The supervision of the medical staff. Techie Joyce. So strong. Balanced runner. To solo. Rejoining the line now. Flat pass for Takagi. And Nate Serevi steals the pills. Some great footwork. And Drua are away. Adivani Baleki coming back to ensure Marawa went no further. Marawa. Put a lot of work into that.
Then knock on.
There's some tired bodies around HBF Park.
It was the handling error at the end, but how about the speed from Kaleni Marawa against a fullback Shuri Hume as well. She was away. A lovely step there to evade the defense of Grace Freeman. Marawa
Okay, let's come in.
looks around for the support.
Blue scrub, knock on.
More controlled from the Drua in this second half, just minimising the offloads.
Number 2. Who's Emma?
Just watch our weight. Just the weight going through.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All in your front row.
You need to push straight. Okay? Or
Fulfichi
you push
and
straight.
Druas. Navuto in and hooker.
Yeah.
Solo made way for
Okay, time on.
Kalonga.
Crouch!
So who can run this one out the best?
Fine!
Force with a decent head start.
Set! Steady!
Oh, Drua angling in, driving the Force back. Certainly not straight through the middle. Nkosi. Good speed. And Ivani Baleki knew where to be. So too Brooklyn Techie Joyce. Big defence. They're waiting for that offload now, the Western Force. And it's the breakdown, Ash Masters. She was there. Fiji diving straight into seal. Give away the penalty.
Techie Joyce, she's been impactful for her side. Just textbook here. Gets in and under. Drives the Drua back. Naihumu. The heavy hit. She's been impactful this afternoon, Techie Joyce, out on the wing, looking for work to do. Some solid runs, as we just saw defensively.
Leonard, the option. Off hands. Wilson. The offload game is firing. Pia Tapsel flying. Ball there for the Drua. Ramanakandavo.
Okay, move, Blue.
Finally gets to ground, and the
Advantage,
force
not rolling.
in an illegal position.
Still playing advantage.
Nasewa. Through the middle, Lamani. Steals 5.
Back.
Drew is still under advantage, and they'll need it because Karavata spent that one well before she had control.
Yeah. Not rolling.
It's a discipline from the force, keeping the Drua
Not rolling, 16.
with possession at the moment.
Roll away.
Alapetanamo getting caught up in the ruck, not rolling away.
Just starting to get, as you mentioned, Will Davies, the offload game going off the back with some more dominant carries. Spells danger for the Western force.
An error kick from the Drua. Becky Joyce, balanced and strong, eventually runs into a brick wall. There's Daoni Moala.
Weight in front.
And that
Stop.
is the difference in the kicking game so far. Freeman turning the Drua around. You go all the way back, Nikolsi. And that looked forwards, or flat at least. And away they go.
Late tackle.
Late tackle from the force.
Didn't need to follow through with it. Late tackle.
Also then a substitution, number 4, Sarah Nagama.
Number 18, late tackle.
Number 19, Rosie Evans.
Well, again, the force with the discipline. Alapetanamo has been called for the late tackle, and just enforce the Drua. Handling errors are popping up, playing under advantage.
Off hands of Fisher. The force through Tapsel. And now Masters just holding it up. Pomeroy. And strong into contact. Yamanaka's ball trickles to Cecilia Smith.
Leave, no hands, no. Good.
Rosie Ebbage.
Hold there.
Takagi. Malcolm Hecky, a good clean out. Yamanaka, Freeman. Masters. Good step from Ash Masters. Sarevi. Eventually,
Okay, let go
I think
now.
Masters, who
Step
actually
back,
loved
step
the
back.
initial
Good.
contact. Freeman. Jones, just through the hands, the force. Another flat ball. Right on that parallel, it seems.
Back.
Strong carry by Michaela Leonard.
Ball's available.
Yamanaka just shuffling Koravata out of the way. Jeez. The contact at the defensive
Wait.
line has been something else all afternoon. Rosie Ebbage
Okay, hands off. Step back.
rolling up
Let it go now,
towards the
let it go.
22. Pomeray with support. Freeman going herself and steps back towards the post. The force against the run of play. A big strike in the second half.
Well, it was patient, composed play from the Western force, just chipping away at this Drua defence. And the skipper, Trelene Pomade, spots a gaping hole back on the inside, and Freeman with a beautiful support line. She had one more to beat in the back. Just a slight step, ball in two hands. Deceptive, straight under the six.
She's been struggling with that ankle injury. She didn't feel it then on the way to the try line. It opened up perfectly beside the ruck. Great vision
20 seconds.
from the Western Force duo.
From directly in front, converts her own try. The Western Force earns some big breathing space.
A brilliant reward for Freeman after a fabulous game off the boot. First time we've seen her really go at the line herself, and she was able to explode through. You can see now her ankle's giving her a little bit of grief, and she's absolutely buggered. But she's put in a shift for the Western Force thus far and got them in this position. That score critical in this game to put them out to a 21-point lead with 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes to go.
Stay behind. Let's go, please. Yep.
Tapsell.
No, 7, no. Clear release. No, leave it. You're offside. 20, 11. Keep moving back. Okay.
Nkosi, time to gather and wind up, and that she does. Nkosi just about through. She had some speed on the outside. Nkosi running 3/4 of the length of the field is over.
Individual brilliance, Aloisi Nkosi, to keep her team in this game, to fight back. She was straight down the middle. She had Vitalina Nakore in support. She didn't need her, just winding through defenders, turns on the afterburners. She just sizes up the Western Force defence and just spots a small hole. She's away.
Oh, Nkosi, she's looked to be the dangerous one since coming on the field. Who cares whether she wears a number or not if she's going to be that dangerous? Tried to put her 13 away, didn't need her. That's absolutely outstanding individual effort for the Drua. And the Force took some breathing space, and Nkosi takes it back.
Make it a 14-point ball game, and that it is. 20 minutes to go, game back on.
Game back on indeed. Here I was saying the Force had some breathing room, and it was Nakate who put it on her shoulders. You cannot give an Olympic bronze medalist, specialist in sevens, that much space. She is damaging when she has the ball in hand, and she's been electric since her inception. The Force are starting to get a roll on with a few little offloads starting around the ruck. The Force really need to tighten up in around defensively if they're going to push them all the way to the end.
Loose pass, saved by Senevutu. $14 points, the margin. Hamu eventually brought down. Strong contacts from the Force, driving Drua back. Serevi, quick hands, even better hands from Naisewa to hold on.
No, let it go, Blue, let it go. Let it go. Yes, no, you'll play us. Leave it alone.
Masters,
leave it alone.
far from happy with the attention. The Western Force with the penalty.
It was a try scorer, Aloisi Nkosi. A lovely run in the line break again, but see here, defensive effort from Buleki, and Nkosi, she's landed on her back, attempt to get that offload away, but in doing so, has offered up the perfect position for the Pilfer.
Let me handle that. There's no need for that. I understand, but you don't need to do it.
A couple of times that's been the lesson for people watching at home. Important to either land on the ball, hide it away from opposition players. They'll be very active on the ground. Twice the Drua players have landed on their back, and twice they've been turned over. Leddington on for Freeman, who finally succumbs to that ankle injury.
Wait.
Luka Jones, good take. Leddington, great experience to come bench. Take a Joyce. Good contact in defence, Nakore.
Okay, play touch.
The Western Force just running themselves into the touchline. Brooklyn Teki Joyce, room
Numbers,
to
girls.
work with.
Five.
Nakore,
5.
aggressive in defence.
It's a short arm for the force. Testing that, not being straight. So they tap and go. Smith, the kick, follows it well.
Leave now, 15.
Who scores next?
Not on the ball.
Nakandava rolling to the ground. Force rushing out of the line to Kagi. Another decent tackle. Drua. Kick was well fielded. And using the referee as a screen. So the Drua playing quickly. Western Force need to be careful of this 14-point lead.
Backwards.
We've seen the Drua eat the deficit up very, very quickly in the second half of Super Rugby women's games. Loose ball.
Backwards again.
Some loose passing.
Let it go.
Masters released and then won the ball back.
Holding.
Clinical stuff from Ash Masters. Yeah, Ash Masters, bread and butter stuff for her. She gets it right. Such a strong position over the ball. Just sees Drua player isolated. Support there.
I've got to disagree there. I thought Ash Masters not supporting her body weight there, had forearms on the ground. To be fair, I thought the Drua player was tackled and got up and ran anyway. So I think the rugby gods looked after the situation there.
Sub, number 5, sub. Numbers.
Working the bench.
6.
Okay, Sarevi thought that she was getting a spell.
Okay. Number 7.
Almost brought back.
Time's off.
I think now she will be brought back.
Okay, yeah.
Just an extra 30 or 40 metres in the tank for
subs are good now.
Astonada Sarevi.
Subs good. Yeah, okay, good. What number's down there?
Alasani Ralu
We'll wait.
heads off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, don't close the gap. Okay, don't close the gap. Stay where you are.
Just more than 15 to play.
Okay, time's on.
The Drua guarantee themselves a home semi-final if they win. Western Force playing for their finals chances.
Access is
a win
good.
Does them all sorts of favours. And still keeps a home semi alive for them too. Kicker Joyce and Masters combining. Masters
Knock on.
had everybody fooled, including Malcolm Heckett.
Yeah. We can't play that, girls. Off the feet, okay? We're going to play the knock on. Scrum.
Well, it's the sticky end of the game where the fatigue starts to set in. The ball begins to go astray. Both sides just struggling to build some cohesion in these later minutes. Theo Yamanaka.
She's coughed it.
Yeah, great.
Gee, she's been good too.
Really good.
She won't shy away from that contact. They build them absolutely tough in Japan. Trained against her, and they absolutely love the contact. So you see her bounce up nice and quick, and see Ash Masters on screen with a little claret coming from her nose as well. So the physicality out here hasn't dropped off a single bit into the 65th minute.
That's right, Alicia. The trainers have been working in overtime this afternoon. Heavy contact out there for both sides.
Good to go. Yeah, okay. Let's go, please. Water off. Yeah, I'll talk to them now. You guys do the same, though. Okay, let's form up. Here's our mark. Make sure you hold the weight, push straight, okay?
Manaka Mio in her starting debut. Deep breaths to make sure everything's still working.
That's the way. Deep breath, get back into it.
Crouch! Boy! Set! Steady, hold! Wait!
The Drua working hard at scrum time again.
Okay,
The
use it,
force.
use it.
They're going backwards, but holding their shape. The Drua from within their own 22. They run it out. McCarthy directing traffic. Hume just hanging on the offload. Maybe just forced.
Good steal. Come back for the knock-on.
And all of that wins the Drua about 50 metres. It'll be a force feed.
Knock-on.
It was a beautiful
Let's
lead
go,
up.
30 seconds.
Perfect
30
scrum.
seconds.
Catch pass, outstanding. Found the space out wide. Nkosi, she was away. Found that outer channel and just the offload.
Sorry.
Not finding her teammate.
Yeah, that's the same
Drua.
So, is it bad? Let's just get it off.
Team of real contrast. Statistically, you see them at the top of the list for carry meters, for offloads. You also see them statistically on the list. You don't want to be on bad passes, penalties.
Oh, I feel they've butchered that one. McCarthy was looking to find a way to get to Nate Cordo on the left-hand side. If she did, that was it. It was all over, and Sheree Hume makes an important tackle and just disrupts that offload enough that you mentioned, Kiri. That was a big play. The Force now, I think, 14-point lead. Draws their worst-case scenario. They're just going to, any point will do it. Get somewhere down the other end of the field, dominate where this match is played, and close it out. They certainly can't shut up shop against the Drua.
Keep pushing straight.
You know, they will chance their arm time and time again. We've got 13 and a half minutes to do so. They go into a bye in round 5.
Bind!
Plenty of time to recover from this
Set!
for a finals campaign. Minaka feeds it out. Huge shot again.
I haven't got it.
Neither side backing down. Trillian Pomeray took it in, and now the Drua win the penalty.
High tackle. Sorry, time off. Where the contact point was. Okay, yeah, okay, so high tackle against Green. White, okay, yeah. Sorry, Captain, just let me explain. So, first of all, there was a high tackle by your player, so we're going to reverse the penalty. It's going to be a penalty for high tackle, okay?
Sure.
Back you go, 10, please. High tackle.
Reverse penalty, rightly so. Trillian Pomade, she was on the ground.
Time back on.
Looking in absolute disbelief. The penalty was going against her.
Leddington to try and continue the great work from Grace Freeman in the opening 60 minutes. Doesn't show off quite as much as Freeman
That's you there.
did on occasion, but safely into
Let's go,
touch.
in. 4.
Cargie running the line out for the Force. Leonard, strong
Play on.
hands.
No, that was okay.
Leddington. Smith. Running a dead end. That second bit of contact. Leonard's. Montana Lumu.
Wait.
Pomeray. Jones. Bumps off the first.
Okay, move away now. No hands. Good.
Halfway, the home side. Leading by 2 converted tries.
Happy. Yeah.
Bounces their way. Smith. Moves to Hearn.
No, leave it. No. Those players need to roll away. Over here. These
The
two
rate of
players roll away
attrition
first.
this
Number 20,
afternoon
roll away.
in the dropping heat is significant.
Number 20, roll away.
The bounce of the football was kind to the Western Force in that play. Bad pass,
we're okay.
came up with possession, and Cecilia Smith just working away down this right-hand side, finding some speed, and Samantha Traherne, Sevens representative, has signed with the Western Force just this year, first season. Previously showed the Melbourne Rebels, also the Queensland Reds. Wealth of experience. Substitute for Adivani Bilecki.
Because I know they're killing time. Are we trying to play the game?
Yeah, I understand that. But I also have a duty of care for player safety. Okay, it's a serious injury.
But when it was on our side, you didn't call them.
No. Sorry, captain. 20, no, captain.
Attila Tuaki about to find out that Dan Andrews will have the last word.
All good.
That one just not rolling away?
Yeah, not rolling away, yeah. Captain.
Certainly keen to finish that on his terms.
Like
I understand your frustration,
Yeah.
okay, but I don't need you to talk to me like that, okay? Let's work together,
I'm just
okay? I have a duty of
on the
care.
welfare
I
of my
understand.
players as well.
I understand. Time's off, though,
Yeah.
okay, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a strong element of agree to disagree from Attila Tuaki. Brings such great leadership and experience with this Fijian Drua side and their run of championship success of late. Our thoughts with Honorable Malcolm Hecky, up to forearm across the top of the head, and then the significant second effort from Anna Korovata.
She'd caught one earlier in the match as well, and it toughed it out for a team, as mentioned. Would have thought that Malungi, of course, can't come back on. I would have thought Ash Masters is saying right throughout that match, you're not going anywhere.
It's a huge credit to head above Malcolm Hecky.
Yeah.
As soon as she came on, she had issues. She has done an incredible job to try and grind it out for this game.
Atco spoke about it in the pre-game that Ash Masters should move into the front row, and depending if Malcolm Hecky can stay on the field here, that he might see that move happen sooner than what he thought.
As he mentioned that to Ash Masters, I wouldn't be like me the one to come up and say that.
I don't think he did, Morgs. It'll be a surprise to her, and she's put in a solid shift, playing 68 minutes thus far and being so instrumental. I think moving into a scrum would be the last thing she'd want to do right now.
Yeah, how about that? Tireless around the field, just running herself into the ground, and then just a little reward on top. In you go for the final 12 minutes.
Yeah, old Mr. Rugby, Atco, he thinks she should go up front. I quite like this where he hasn't got a
I was
microphone
about
to
to
answer
say,
back.
he doesn't have a right of reply until full time, and he'll have everybody covered with all of the post-match analysis and maybe a couple of pointed lines your way too. But what a warrior this woman is. She's had a massive 18 months too, a huge Super Rugby women's campaign last year, earned herself a Wallaroos debut. She is a cornerstone of what Dylan Parsons and the Western Force women's side are doing in WA. And congratulations
16.
here to Nami
16,
Dixon
16, you've been
on
subbed,
for
okay?
her
You've been
Super
subbed
Rugby
now.
women's
Yeah, you've been
debut,
subbed.
a
Number 8
Wanneroo
is going
and
to
Rugby
Drua.
WA Pathways
Okay,
product.
let's go, girls. Let's go,
Congratulations to her.
please. Is the sub on, Lou?
Strong performance last week against Benina Pacifica for Nami Dixon. Gets her
Yeah.
the Super Rugby women's debut.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I think
get clear
we
numbers.
are going to see
Okay, here's our mark. Come in.
her above Malcolm Hecky.
Well, Atco's
Give
called
way.
it.
Okay, wait.
Ash Masters, she's got a ball in her head, throwing it in.
Yeah. Girls, step out. Step out. Step out.
Now, for
Okay,
anyone
blue in.
potentially unfamiliar with
Time's on.
Master's story, she has played all over the field. She got a debut as a scrum half. She's played in the centres,
Oh, Atco.
also at hooker and in the back row. The most capped Wallaroos player of all time. She will finish this game as the Western Forces hooker. Neat little ball
Okay, move 12.
from Sete Itaralumu. Naseba scored the opening 2 tries for Fijian Drua. A
Good
hat-trick
steal.
will put them
Let it go now. Ball's
within
out. Ball's
range.
out.
Tapsel. I don't think anyone was expecting her to pass that ball, and it's kicked out by Fisher, accidentally so,
Drop the
but
ball.
from an offside position.
It'll be interesting to see
Hands.
what the Western
Number
Force
19.
do here. I know I've made light of it, but I don't believe Ash Masters would have picked up a ball to do any kind of throwing into a line-out in quite some time. So her defence certainly isn't where she would have imagined herself in this match.
One of the Fijian Druan players has just been sniped. And hopefully it's just cramp.
Captain.
Just went down in an absolute heap.
Can you just have a word?
I will say, it is trying conditions in Perth for this doubleheader today. On the Masters front, this is all you need a Michaela Leonard to take control at line-out time.
Just cramp.
Something simple at the
check,
front.
Make sure it's cramp, and then we'll play
Make life easy for
on.
Masters.
Wait, girls, wait. Yep, okay. Okay, we're going to play on because this is cramp. Time on.
And there they go, to the front to Michaela Leonard. And now Masters can get towards the back of this. They sprinted away. And Drua's players have illegally dragged this down. Notice Surevi ended up in the wrong spot. Dan Andrews was advising. And the debutante, Nami Dixon, her first carry. Leonard, right in front of the post. They'll five away the force.
Not supporting weight.
Looking to just about ice it. Leddington, under advantage. Numbers with the force. The ball is in front of Teki Joyce. I'll come back for the penalty.
Imagine the Western Force will just take
Number
some
5
time,
collapsing.
coming to the final 10 minutes of the game. Have a healthy lead on
Number
the
5
scoreboard.
collapsing.
A number of their players succumbing to injury. This is just their opportunity to slow things down, play with patience.
6 tries to 4 to the force. And so they can look for a attacking bonus point here, which could be absolutely crucial for seedings on the table.
Masters to Leonard, unopposed. Drua keen to get set and lend every player to stopping this fourth maul. Awama is at the back. Masters now grabs the ball. She is over. A penalty try, the decision. 7 points to Western Force. And they keep their season well and truly alive.
Number 16.
Well, the Drua are going to see a yellow card here. It was just one infringement too many. Ashley Masters thrown in the deep end. Her old stomping ground in at hooker, and she has done very well to come away with a decent throw. Well-constructed maul. Western Force, it's been a go-to for them in this game. For that reason why they have had so much ascendancy with it.
Stay behind.
Yeah, clear infringement there to prevent a probable try.
So the Force by 21.
Hold.
With 7.5 minutes to play.
Taken back.
Playing for their finals chances, and they have put on
That's outside.
plenty of points for the home fans. The kick had too much on it, and back they will come.
Yep.
So drew a chance
9.
to try and peg a couple back again. Any form of points today
Come in,
guarantees
Come in, please.
the Drua a finals berth,
What numbers?
a top
What
4
numbers?
spot. But without a single point, they do still mathematically
5.
have a chance to miss the finals altogether going into the bye next week. They can get a losing bonus point.
Move. Good. Hold. Wait.
They keep working. Drua.
Advantage. Offside.
Winding up. The ball eventually gets to Naikore, but too late.
Number 12 offside.
Look at the urgency. Keen to play. Naikore.
Shorts on the line. On the line.
Drua. They're over and down. They hit back almost instantly.
Well, the quick tap and go has been a pillar of this Drua side this season. You can see why they catch defenders off guard time and time again. Just a simple pick and go for the Drua. Emma Adagiti-Longa. The impact, trying all they can. get back into this game.
They just let their skills do the talking. When the pressure comes on, they back their ability to beat an opposition player. Sleight of hand with catch pass.
20
It's
seconds.
not always perfect, but it changes the complexion of this match again. They take the attacking bonus point away from the Force in this conversion. Crucial if they want to get a losing bonus point themselves.
Just hung out to the right far too much by Nakore. The Force by 16.
The Drua, so strong in around those rucks that Western Force just haven't got north in their defensive line, and the Drua have been able to really sneak in around that breakdown and in around the rucks. And the wind in their sail as well as they get down into their own 22.
Reddington pitches a yard and goes deep. Nakore! An old school goose step. Masters hanging on. Tired bodies absolutely everywhere.
Backwards.
A bit longer. The ball stripped out of her grasp, and good cover tackle coming from the tireless Trilene Pomare.
And the skipper, Pomare, stepping up in the closing minutes of this game. Western Force just trying to stay in a nice low chop. Catches Nevosa over the touchline.
Not a bad day to be a Western Force supporter. 99 points from the home teams so far this afternoon. Alicia Lucas, what have you made of this Western Force performance?
I think the Force have been really, really courageous in this second half, Morgs. They've let the Drua come back in little dribs and drabs, but it's been likes of Ash Masters, who's been able to turn over the ball 4 times at the breakdown to really stop their run of play. But I think their defence has been really courageous, and they've just been able to pick their moments when they've had them.
Step out, step out. You come in, you come in. Let's go. In. Backwards.
Off hands. And Anna Fui is on in jersey 21 for the Force. Dixon let that one go through. It works out okay for the Force. Teki Joyce and Hume,
High
who
tackle.
is
Where you
tackled
are. Let her run, good.
over the
Good
shoulder.
job.
Anna Fui
No, play on, she's gone 10.
taking the Drua on and just scragged to the ground in the end. Rosie Ebbage. Force by 16.
No, play on, play on.
3 and a little to play.
Backwards.
Force with 15, the Drua with 14.
We can play knock on there.
And Anna Fui off the bench.
I don't need to
Says
yell.
what for 10?
Knock on. Let's go, 30 seconds.
Adding a spark of energy to these final minutes of this game.
Yep.
Force, they have the handling error.
Yep. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds is started. Here we go. Bind up. Here's the mark.
Maintained the same amount of control in this second half.
Green ball. Green ball.
It's been a happy hunting ground
Do you
at
want to
home
feed
for
from
the
there?
Force. They're
Crouch.
unbeaten in their past 3 at HBF Park.
Bind.
In their overall record of late, they've won
Set.
just 1 of their
Hold.
past 6.
Wait.
So continuing to perform strongly at home.
Early. At the back, at the back, at the back. Early. Let's go. Tap.
Drew a do tap. And another great ball. And a bit longer. Head smacking into the turf.
Let it come, Blue. Make it back.
What have the Drua got to run this one out? Through the hands of Fisher. And Robert Akandavu. Karavata. Takagi, the second player in. Lamani.
Advantage.
And Lumu involved. Big tackle after the fact.
Offside. Number 11 and number 20. Offside.
Drew
Number
a
11
tap
and number
ball.
20.
Go to the corner. Short price favourite of the tap.
No, No. They're coming in. All right, let's go.
Tap they do. Sinati Sarevi hands it off to Robin
Okay,
Akandavu.
let go. Wait, Blue, wait.
In front of the posts. Karavata bumps the initial contact.
Okay, move. Good job. Use it.
Force defending their line once more.
Okay, let it come. Use it.
The game is theirs, the home side. Drua looking for more points.
Okay, let go now. Yeah. Use.
Far side of HBF Park once more. The eyes lifted.
Playing advantage, knock on.
Julian Pomeroy
Okay, let it come now.
with the advantage for the Force. 20 seconds remaining.
Wait.
And the
Use
Force
it.
back with the ball in their hands. Masters takes it up.
Use it. 3, 2.
Afui back, Leddington into touch. As the siren sounds, and that'll do it for the Western Force. A big, big win for them in their 2025 season. They beat the Drua and put themselves towards a finals berth.
Well, it's been brewing for the Western Force this season, and they have shown up this afternoon. An astounding 7 tries to their name to close out. Second place on the ladder, Drua. You can see tired bodies all over the park. Multitude of points between both sides out on the field this evening.
Almost a point a minute from these two sides have absolutely ripped into each other physically up front. We've seen some great tries, collective and individual. A decent chance we may see both in the finals of Super Rugby Women's.
They needed that performance, the Western Force. They started the season with a draw and then a loss, and off the bye at home against the Drua. They needed to make a statement towards the competition, but perhaps as well for them, the back of a much hyped pre-season, a lot of rugby involved, and now Dylan Parsons and this Western Force side have the big performance they needed. They head to Ballymore next Sunday to take on the Queensland Reds in what will be a fascinating clash. As we head down to Alicia Lucas, who has Ash Masters.
I'm here with Ash, who's just getting a quick water because she didn't think that she'd have to transition into the hooker this afternoon and play a full 80 minutes. Ash, how was it going into your back pocket to throw a few lineouts?
Oh, yeah, you know, and just another day in my life, but all good. No, it was good. I think we just have to be adaptable, and in that case, I think we did. We let off a few points there at critical moments, but I think going into next week, we still need to stay on top of the game. And we can't allow another team to back into the game like that.
Most definitely. You're going to give Jo Yap a call and say that you've put your hand up for hooker as well?
I think she already knows. Back up.
She already knows that you're a backup, but that's a huge performance from your team. 47 points. A win here, first win for the season. How good was that?
Yeah, look, we've been building onto that. Obviously, we started off with the draw and then the loss at critical moments against the Waratahs, and I think that we've just been waiting for that moment to come along. So, yeah, it feels good, and finally, but obviously the game's not over, the tournament's not over, so we still got work to do.
And you yourself personally, the Force were getting a real roll on, but you had 4 turnovers in that second half. Just going about regular business for you?
Oh, yeah, well, look, we had like one down, next decided to have a week off, so I guess we had to step up a little bit. So, but yeah, look, that's credit to our team. They're doing their job on defence and just allowing opportunities for myself.
Well, congratulations, Ash. A huge win here on home soil at HBF Park, and all the best for next week against the Queensland Reds.
Cheers, thank you.
Over to you, Tim.
Oh, Trelene, finally we've been talking about the Western Force for all through pre-season, how you recruited really well. Finally, you get your first win.
Yeah, happy to finally get on the board. Tough effort. We know the Drua, the Fijian girls never give up, so high point scoring game. We're chasing them down the field, and we almost let them in for a second there, but closed it off and took home the W.
over 70-odd points here this afternoon. Obviously, after the men's, Western Force had a good win. You go to Queensland next week, and then hopefully you get a chance there. If you beat the Queensland Reds or get some points out of that, you then make the finals.
Yeah, exciting. I think we'll celebrate this one first. We finally got a win. So that's something we've been chasing for a little bit now. So we'll focus on next week come Monday. So we'll really just enjoy the fruits of our labour tonight.
If I take you back to the pre-season, obviously recruitment was big on the panel, and you've got all the girls in now, Cecilia, and all the other girls who've come in. How have they moulded into the team the last couple of months?
Yeah, really well. I think character builds a team, and that's kind of what we drive ourselves on. We've forgotten state for a little while now, so hopefully finally turn some heads in the West.
Well done, Trelene. We'll see you next week in Brisbane.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Vita, I'll get you to come over as well. Captain of Fiji and Drua. How did you find that match? They got away to a very good start, the Western Force.
I'm super proud of the efforts we showed today, and I think we're gonna come back strong next game.
You had a very good win against the New South Wales Waratahs girls a few weeks ago to start off the competition. Now you have a bye next week, and you've got to sit back and see where the finals go. Yeah, she's very, very excited. But thanks very much for coming up, and I'm sure it's been great to have you here over in Perth. We look forward to seeing how the finals go in a couple of weeks' time. I'm sure you'll be there.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff, Vita.